From here, I invite you to take a medium step back with either foot staying on the toes behind you and lunging into the front leg. You can heel toe or wiggle in any way to find your variation of a high lunge today. You might play with shifting your weight between front and back foot and find a point of balance. From here, you may choose to lift both hands overhead. Take a big breath in as you reach the back heel towards the mat, maybe lengthening the back of the knee behind you. And exhale as you bend the back knee as though to dip it, lowering it towards the floor. It does not have to touch. Inhale to rise, reach the heel back behind. Draw in your low ribs and your belly. Choose to keep the hands lifted or maybe find prayer hands at heart center. Inhale, we'll reach and lift. And exhale, we'll lower that knee, dipping it toward the floor as the heel peels up. Coming up for high lunge, maybe reaching with heel and hands in opposite directions. Maybe dipping the knee on the exhale as you lower the hands. Pair your breath with your movement. Go at a pace that you can sustain. This is good work. As you find your high lunge again, you may spin on the back toes, bringing your heel towards center, but still thinking about standing on railroad tracks more than a balance beam. You may choose to heel toe that foot towards the front one to stabilize your stance, maybe allowing that whole leg to become long and act like a rudder as you point your hip bones, your front points here toward the front corners of your mat. Maybe lifting the hands overhead for warrior one. Nice work finding prayer hands, stepping into the strength of your lunging knee. Peel the back heel up and step that foot to meet its mate, finding chair pose, maybe lifting to mountain for a breath or more. Nice work. Now you have an idea of where we're headed, so set yourself up for success. Bring anything along for support. As you're ready, you may choose to shift your weight into the other foot as you step back again onto the toes of the opposite leg behind you. And heel toe in any way that creates stability, maybe making space from left to right between your footprints. Nice, you know where we're headed. So once you're grounded on the back toes behind you, you might play with shifting your weight forward and back to see if you have some mobility here. And once you feel settled, you may choose to lift your arms overhead. As you reach back and down with the heel, it does not have to come to the floor. All bodies have different shapes. Let it look like yours. And the exhale can bend that back knee as it lowers toward the mat. It does not have to touch. Option to bring the hands down here as well and make it yours from here. Inhale, high lunge, reach up and back with hands on heel. And exhale, lower hands and back knee. Notice the strength of your front leg. Lift everything up, reach back with that heel. Big breath in here. And exhale, lower. Maybe this is the last one. Make this yours. As you come up to your high lunge, you may choose to scoot the back foot forward a bit. As you pivot on the ball of that back foot, bring the heel towards the center, but let the toes point outward a bit. You can still lunge into this front knee, maybe finding an adjustment with the hips, squaring them off the front short edge of your mat. An inhale might lift both hands, strong warrior one here. As you reach back with the whole leg planted on that footprint behind you. Still bending that front knee as you open your heart towards the sky. Option to bend the elbows, reaching them towards each other behind you. Ooh, notice the scapula drawing towards each other, reach up high. Find your prayer hands as you lean over your front foot and step the back foot forward for chair, maybe finding mountain. Nice work. Now we'll set up for warrior two. So looking down at your feet, notice they're on railroad tracks. And choose one of them. I'm going to use my right one. Just turn the toes 90 degrees out to the side. You might bend your knee as possible. So now your feet are perpendicular. Now whichever foot is turning out to the side, heel toe it straight back as though it's on a balance beam. You'll find you bend the front knee to make this possible. And that's it. Once you are able to lengthen that leg that has heel toed behind, this is a great stable setup for your warrior two. If you'd like more challenge with your stability, you have the option to scoot this heel back so that if you were to draw a line from your front heel straight back to your back foot, it might slice the center arch of your foot. So think about standing between two panes of glass if you'd like to practice that variation. But again, make this yours as you choose to lift both arms to shoulder height. Maybe wave at the kitty cat. Do you have one? Like we did in our so-called anteater pose, you may point your palms towards the floor. Maybe rotate both thumbs up and back so palms shine upward towards the sky. If you look at your front knee, can you peek and see your big toe just inside of it? You might make an adjustment until that's true. With palms pointed skyward, reach back over your extended leg as the other hand reaches skyward, reversing your warrior. Nice, returning to warrior two, maybe finding a breath as your palms point toward the floor. Extend the knee of the front leg, that bent leg. It might offer a sigh of relief. From here, we'll reach over the planted toes and then tip the teapot, reaching the shoulders up and down, skyward and towards that shin. This is triangle pose. You might connect your hand with the inside of your shin, or you could place a block here like a pedestal for your hand. Again, make this yours. And that's our flow. You might bend that front knee, reach back with your arm, bringing the other up to a T. Flipping the palms for a breath in, reverse your warrior, keeping the front knee bent, letting the back arm drape over the hamstring, supporting behind you as you reach up high with the other hand overhead. Toggle the arms and shoulders, finding warrior two again as you lengthen that front knee, reach over the toes. From here, the shoulders can allow the hands to rotate towards north and south. Find your triangle pose. You also have the option to bend at the elbows here and offer a little less extension. Moving with your breath. You might repeat this 2, 4, 5 more times. It's up to you. Reversing your warrior. Finding warrior two. Lengthening the front leg. Reaching over that front horizon. And tipping the shoulders, reaching for the shins, the floor, or a block. Reaching overhead with the other hand. Again, imagine standing between two panes of glass. Opening the heart towards the sky, noticing the length of the waist and the rib cage. As you reach up high overhead. Find your way to upright and warrior two once more. From here, we'll lengthen both legs. If you're hearing funny noises in the background, it's my cat wishing I would do something more like hands-on petting for him and less like demonstrating yoga for me and you. So have no fear. The cat is happy and healthy. You're just hearing a little noise in the background. Or maybe my microphone's tuning it out and you're ready for what's next. So as you pay attention to your feet, you could move your block out of the way and pivot on the heel of what was the front foot. Okay, so both sets of toes are now pointed toward a long edge of the mat. And now we're going to pivot on the heel of what was the back foot, turning into the front foot now as toes point what I'll call forward towards the short edge of the mat. And you can bend that knee, heel toe, where you'd like your feet to go. So remember, again, you have the option to stand on a nice balance beam in your warrior two, or you could heel toe this foot forward, back, anywhere that feels stable and supportive for your body, your center of gravity. All right, I'm not here to tell you right or wrong, I'm just offering options for you to explore in your practice. All right, gracious listeners, thank you. Again, I invite you to look at your front knee as you lunge there and see if you can notice that big toe on the floor just inside of that kneecap. Make any adjustments, maybe externally rotating the thigh to make it possible. From here, option to lift both arms to shoulder height. Palms can point towards the floor and then maybe rotate skyward on an inhale. Exhale, might toggle the shoulders, one reaching back over the extended legs, the other lifts towards the sun over your face. Nice work, toggling again, returning the arms to shoulder height. You can stay here or bring hands to hips as you lengthen that bent knee. And the hip feels saggy as you reach over the horizon in the same direction as those grounded toes. And then toggle, finding the forearm or hand on the inside of your calf. Again, you have the option to bring a block along or a stack of books, whatever might fit the bill. And you have an option for a point of support there, maybe even just a place for your fingertips to connect. And make this yours as you find your warrior two. Reverse your long warrior. Warrior two again. Lengthen the bent knee. Reach over those grounded toes. Toggle arms and shoulders. And choose to reduce your extension in any way that feels supportive for your practice. Inhaling to rise and expand. Exhaling to lower and reground. Exhaling to notice. Inhaling to rise. Warrior two. Choose to reverse your warrior. Return to warrior two. Lengthen that knee as you reach. And find triangle. Last time, returning to warrior two, we'll lengthen both legs and pivot both sets of toes on the heels so that they can point towards the same long edge of the mat. And from here, we'll take a variation of skandasana or a side lunge, noticing those feet pointing in parallel as though on really wide railroad tracks. You might put your hands on your hips, reach backward with your tail as you hinge there, noticing the hip crease with your fingertips. And from here, we'll lunge into one knee, keeping both footprints glued down. So from here, you may notice the length of the inseam of the extended leg. Nice. From here, we'll press into the bent knee, almost like a spring, returning to extension. And then we'll lunge into the other side, really gluing that foot down. You could even dip the hip of the extended leg towards the floor, almost like you're going to drag your foot, but leaving it right where it is. So make this yours. It might feel like a little bit of a dance move. You could move slowly or quickly. It's up to you, but notice your breath. Nice work. Whenever you're ready, I'll invite you to return to standing.